You gave Austin a mic check, right?
I believe so, yes.
Michael gave a mic check.
Michael.
Sorry, I have just a weird sense of humor. It's dad humor, I guess. How you doing?
Mike, I get it.
Yes, indeed. How you doing, Dave?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fantastic. So for the viewers, for the people out there, we had the pleasure of we're actually continuing to work with Michael Mamp here from LSU. And we're working on a great project that actually has, it's coming up. And so I thought it'd be nice to bring you on the podcast, introduce you, your work, what you're doing, and the exhibit. How's that sound?
That sounds wonderful.
Okay, so let's go. Who are you? And you are the what with who?
I am Michael Mamp. Mm-hmm. I am an associate professor of fashion and textile history at LSU, where I also serve as the director and curator of the Textile and Costume Museum.
That's a lot of words.
It is.
So if there's like a hierarchy at LSU of like what building are you in, what programs are you associated with, and how do you fit in? How does the Textile and Costume Museum fit into all that?
I'm a tenured faculty member in the Department of Textiles, Apparel Design, and Merchandising.
Okay.
And the Textile and Costume Museum is a subsidiary of that department.
Very nice. So in my ignorant fifth grade brain, LSU's teaching their students, I don't know, like how you grow the fabric and then what to do, how you process the fabric. And then you're at the very end of that process where it's like, this is what you can do with fabric.
True. Actually, my role is a bit more nuanced in that I focus specifically on history and material culture through my work with the museum. And so students in their time with me learn about the history of fashion, the history of textiles, and also wherever possible interact with the objects that we hold in the museum as a way to enhance their understanding of how garments were made, constructed in the past.
So students that go through your program typically end up pursuing what types of careers?
Usually in two categories of either merchandising, which is a way of saying the business of fashion, and those people typically do roles around buying, assortment planning, supply chain management, retail management, or design.
Okay.
And those people go on to careers in product development and fashion design. And then also at the graduate level, we have both an undergraduate and graduate program. Students can pursue either a master's or PhD. That's when I work specifically with students that are interested in going into museum curation work, nice. Curatorial work surrounding fashion, or perhaps pursuing an academic career.
How long have you been in that position at LSU?
I've been at LSU for 4 years now.
So, all right, let's get to you. So where'd you come from? Where were you born?
I was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan. In Detroit, many people who say they're from Detroit are from Bloomfield Hills. I'm from Detroit, Hamtramck actually, and went to undergraduate in Michigan at Central Michigan University. But I am a Michigander.
So what got you initially into this career field that you're in now? Was it a personal interest or an accident of circumstance?
I think it was a combination of two of those things. My mother was a senior women's better dressed buyer for a department store based out of Detroit that doesn't exist anymore called Crowley's. Women used to wear dresses much more frequently than they do now. And within a department store, there was typically a part of the assortment of dresses for women that were considered the better dresses, the more expensive dresses. And my mother was the buyer for that department. She worked at Crowley's for 30 years. So clothing, fashion was always at the forefront of my existence. My earliest memories are sitting on the floor in her office beneath a rack of clothes. My grandmother, who lived with us at home, was a seamstress, so women would come to the house. She would take a look at them, make a few pins to a garment, and do alterations or make garments from scratch for customers.
Did she love it, did she?
She did. And so I think that it was always just a given for me. I was immediately interested in what they were doing. So I always knew that I would pursue something related to fashion.
And what did that career path look like? Where did you start?
Started with going to college, pursuing education around fashion. When I started school, fashion was still located in many schools in what used to be called home economics.
Yes, I remember that.
And when I first started school, it was in a home economics department. It changed my second year to be not home economics anymore. But my path started with going to school, and it was at school that I met some amazing professors and had no idea that you could pursue being a professor of fashion. And I had my first inkling in undergrad that I might want to do that.
Okay.
I did go on to graduate school for my master's immediately following undergrad, but then I took a 14-year hiatus from academia between master's and PhD, where I worked in the industry for several different companies before going back, earning the PhD, and eventually fulfilling that
My
idea.
dad would call that a gap year that turned into a career.
Yes.
Okay,
yeah.
that's very cool. So if you're the fashion expert, so what do you think about my fashion? How am I doing?
I think you have a look,
Yeah,
and
it's
it
a
works
look.
for you, and you should stick to it. That's what I
My
think.
wife is on a mission to better dress me. I am a blue jeans and boots and black t-shirt kind of guy. And we just went on a week vacation, and I think she rebought my entire closet. So she's trying. I should have worn some of the fancier shoes she bought me today. Maybe I'd look better, but thank you for the compliment.
Oh, you're welcome. I wasn't realizing I would be on camera today, so I'm not completely pleased with my outfit, but I'm willing to roll with the
You're
punches.
fine.
Thank you.
Okay, so you were 14 years in the industry, and then you came back to finish up and become a professor.
Yes.
In your field. And then, so how did you get from doing that in Michigan to here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, LSU?
Yes, well, it's a long story, and there were many stops in between Michigan and Louisiana. I lived in Chicago for a time, in Philadelphia, in New Jersey. I did my PhD at Iowa State University in Iowa. Then I went back to Michigan, worked at my alma mater
Been all
for
over the place.
almost a decade, yes.
Wow.
And then after spending a decade at my alma mater, this job came open at LSU,
Excellent.
and I decided to go for it.
So I don't know if you've noticed in your short time here, but well, I've been here a long time. Is that there's three reasons that people come to Louisiana. It's family, it's for work, or it's for LSU. You came for both, for two, LSU and work.
Yes. I guess.
Congratulations. I don't know.
You can combine those. Yeah. There's, as I was thinking about making a change, there are very few universities in the country that have the kind of museum that we have here. So this was a rare opportunity when the job became available, which prompted me to.
Yeah, that's an interesting thought. I mean, I've been to the museum out there at LSU, and it's great. You have exhibits going on and all kinds of stuff. Like, I didn't realize that would be unique among universities. How so?
In that it's not as unusual for fashion programs at different universities to have some collection of vintage historic garments. But sometimes it's a couple racks of clothes that are shoved into a closet. We're a professional, temperature, humidity controlled archival space with dedicated storage and exhibition space. Some universities will have the collection but no gallery. Some universities will have the gallery but very little collection.
You got it all at LSU.
We have over 10,000 artifacts. We have a substantial gallery space to display them in. And then we also have a very vibrant community that is interested in what we're doing that helps to make it all possible.
That's fantastic. So that's kind of brings me into the picture because you have an exhibit coming up. Would you like to introduce the exhibit and tell us when it is and where it is and all that good stuff?
Sure. Our next exhibition is a collaboration with the Louisiana Art and Science Museum called Louisiana Couture, The Legacy of San Carlin. San Carlin was a local evening wear company owned by Linda Ward Dalton and Carla Jumonville from the late 1980s to the early 2000s. And we are opening an exhibit on August 1st at LASM that will feature approximately 30 gowns from the San Carlin archive, which we house at the LSU Textile Costume Museum, along with a large selection of imagery, most of which was taken by a photographer that people in Baton Rouge will remember by the name of Fred Frey.
Nice. And so, yeah, we've been producing this short film that's going to play outside the exhibit. So people that go to the exhibit can see the short film before
Which
they
you
walk
did
in.
such a good job with.
Thank you very much. It's it's a wonderful story, and the characters in it are easy to fall in love with. So it was a beautiful project to work with. So, what was your how did you come to you're professoring at LSU, and then you're doing this exhibit with San Carlin. So how did that connection, how was that made?
I don't remember which event it was, but it was some event most likely related to an exhibition opening. We always have an opening event for the exhibits that we do.
Okay.
And I was giving a talk, as usual, and I saw Linda Ward Dalton walk into the room, and I said, "Who is that?"
She's fabulous.
She's unbelievably beautiful. She's about 6 foot tall, and impossible to miss.
Yeah.
So I made a beeline to her to say hello and introduce myself. And through various people who were telling me about Linda, and then Carla as well, is how I learned about San Carlin, which is this amazing story that happened here in Baton Rouge.
As I was editing the piece and finding out about the story as we were going through the interviews and things, I know Baton Rouge to be in the nicest possible sense, like a cliquey community. It's a small social, everyone knows everyone kind of thing. And she was talking about that in the film, about how that was what drove her initial interest in maybe starting a company was the lack of variety in dresses at the local department stores, and that if all of her friends were going to the same thing, they were all wearing the same dresses basically, which was kind of interesting. But that social scene, I got the impression, I think I'm right, that those two ladies were as much a part of that social scene in their time as anybody else. And so what I enjoyed about it is it was kind of like a behind the scenes look into kind of, that city social type society here in Baton Rouge, because you see all the pictures of the events they go to and things, but you get to see see it from the angle of the dresses that were worn by these ladies, because dresses are a big deal to ladies, right? And so, yeah, it's really good. I think people that come to the exhibit are going to get a sort of a taste of that high society culture as well that was very present in the 80s and 90s here. So yeah, it's very cool. What do you hope people are going to get out of the exhibit when they walk through and they spend some time there?
I think one, the visual impact, just the beauty of it, being able to see up close some of the remarkable detail that's included in these gowns, many of which were hand beaded, hand embroidered, the beautiful coloration, the fabrics that were used in the creation of these garments were the most exquisite fabrics that were available at the time. I think it also is a window into understanding this social history of Louisiana. It is vibrant still today, but I think it was even more vibrant then. And it did center both around Mardi Gras and the social things that happened with that, charity with raising funds philanthropically through different events like the Best Dressed Balls. But the department stores like Maison Blanche and D.H. Holmes that were here in Baton Rouge had very active fashion offices that were very frequently staging fashion shows and different events. Carla and Linda were very involved in all of that. So it represents a time when we were less homogenous and more specific to our own towns, our own cities, that had vibrant fashion and events connected that were happening. And also all of these garments, these remarkable garments, which were very expensive and very exclusive, were made here in Baton Rouge. They weren't made in New York or overseas. They were made here in Baton Rouge. I don't think you could do that today if you tried.
It's a beautiful story. And all right, once again, let people know where they can go to see the exhibit and where they can go online to find out more information or stay plugged in with what you do.
Sure. You can visit us online at LSU TCM if you search for the LSU Textile and Costume Museum or just LSU TCM. Our Instagram is LSU TCM. The exhibit opens at the Louisiana Art and Science Museum on August 1st, and we hope that you'll come out and see it.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.